Namaste, everybody. Welcome to our weekly Thursday night meditation class. We'll wait for a few people to join us for our class, and we'll just get started in about a minute. So, in the meanwhile, if you have any loosening exercises that you'd like to do, please, rotate your neck, rotate your shoulders, rotate your wrists, maybe twist about a little bit in order to get situated for this meditation. We will begin in just a few moments once a few more people join us. In the meanwhile, please do a few loosening exercises to get your body prepared for this meditation. All right. Let us begin. Namaste and welcome to our Thursday night meditation. These meditations are derived from the yoga tradition and are meant to connect you to yourself in a deep, meaningful, relieving way. So in today's meditation, we will take two perspectives. The first 15 minutes of this meditation class will be the perspective of the observer of thoughts. The second 15 minutes of this class will be the perspective of the observer of existence. So let's begin by closing our eyes gently, situating ourselves with a dignified posture, whether that's on the ground or in a chair or lying down. Ensure that the base of your body is connected to the earth. Ensure that if you're sitting in a chair, your feet are firmly planted on the ground. And if your body is flat on a bed or on the floor, make sure much of it is connected. All of this takes a straightened spine to hold us upright, which ensures the energies of meditation flows efficiently and ensures the breath activates your body more deeply. So now that you are situated in your position, let us begin with our foundational practice of deep belly breaths. So with eyes gently closed or slightly open, if that's what you prefer, with hands on your lap gently or facing up, however you prefer. Let's breathe deep into our bellies and get anchored in the space created by the breath in our bodies. Breathe on your own, at your own pace, slowly filling the belly up from the bottom, and then filling up your chest last. If you're ever in a difficult situation, stressed, angry, sad, wherever life may unexpectedly throw you, the breath and the space that it creates is one that you can inhabit deeply and profoundly to relax and seek relief from whatever struggle you may be facing. The practice of diaphragmatic breathing is a central core practice in the yoga tradition. Every other advanced breath practice builds off diaphragmatic breathing. It is both the simplest and the most profound practice, simply because of the spaciousness, the vastness that the breath creates within you, if your attention is subtly attuned to that. Notice your awareness becoming more subtle as you continue to breathe, deeply filling up your belly. We'll transition into our first practice. Remaining where you are, transport yourself internally, visualizing yourself sitting in a meditative posture on the banks of a flowing river. Notice the energy of the water moving. Notice the coolness wafting onto you. Notice the sweet green grass, which provides a comfortable seat. And notice the tree behind you that provides you shade. A truly idyllic time. A truly perfect sit next to this flowing river. This river is the river of your thoughts. Notice yourself observing the constant, steady flow of thoughts in your mind, similar to the flow of water in front of you. Let the water flow. Let your thoughts happen. There's no need to try to change what the water is doing. There's no need to react to your thoughts. Simply separate and observant. Sit meditatively, allowing the thought river to flow on. Continue breathing into your belly, feeling the expansion of your body against your clothing. You may find a thought catches you, pulling you into the river. A natural occurrence, nothing to feel badly about. For the goal of meditation is not to control your mind. It's simply to be present with what is, to accept yourself as you are. If you notice yourself being swept away by thought, at whatever point, celebrate the victory. Celebrate the moment of awareness. That which the yoga tradition terms sakshi, or witness consciousness. Simply hold on to the breath, celebrating each time you notice and coming back to the anchor of the breath. Excuse me. The practice of coming back to the breath is a core simple but profound, intensely meaningful practice. It means that you're there for yourself. It means that you're showing up for yourself. Whether this river is a soft petering flow or a raging current that sweeps you away, the breath is available to you. Always. Your breath has always been with you, by your side, supporting you through thick and thin. Your partner, your ever well-wisher, your nourisher, never judging you, never rejecting you, simply always present and there for you. Regardless of what the river is doing, regardless of if their thoughts, emotions, negative beliefs sweeping you. You can return to the breath at any moment to not just take a break, but to reconnect with the depth of peace, relief, and love within. Continue breathing deeply into your belly, not trying to get in the way of any thoughts that may be occurring, but simply holding on to the breath and coming back to the banks of this mighty, beautiful river. As we conclude the first part of our meditation, raise your hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra. Give thanks to the presence of the river, which is a source of much in your life, both positive and negative. Bowing your head, Allow both of those to keep moving by, not attaching to either, but simply being rooted in the peace of the space you've created in this meditation, which is always available to you. You may adjust your position as needed. Maybe pull your shoulders back a little bit and move your neck a little bit. Excuse me. As we depart for our next phase of meditation. Coming back to our breaths, let's breathe 5 times deeply to recenter, filling your belly first, noticing the sense of connection, belonging, and home inherent to that part of your body. Let's now, keeping our eyes closed, take a bird's eye view of this river, seeing it from far above. Let's trace it back to the glacier on top of the mountain from where it sprung forth. This pure place was where your life began, a blank slate, incarnated into this body. You, like a droplet, fell or flowed out of the glacier down into the tiny rivulet, which became a stream, which slowly over time grew larger, picking up much sediment along the way, and perhaps some valuable stones or gems too. This river of you flowed through life, growing slowly, wider and wider, being nourished by certain experiences, or being depleted by others. Gently and compassionately watch the figurative flow of the river of your life from up above. There may still be some old sediment that you carry along with you. There may be habits or beliefs that are still with you to this day. Just observe them from up above. There may be some stagnated areas of water too, along the river of your life. Simply, acceptingly notice those also. There may be areas of your life where there's a fierce, abundant flow. perhaps even some rapids of development and growth or progress. Simply notice those without attaching either. Where's your breath right now? Is your stomach full of it? Let your stomach expand, breathing from the base of your belly up to your chest. Contemplate here the nature of the flow of water. Water flows effortlessly but powerfully. It sinews its way around all types of terrain, slowly even eroding the hardest of stones over time. Can you feel the power of life force, of the movement of your life rushing through you like the river of your life? Notice how this river also flows without resistance. Notice how relaxed the flow of the river of pure life force is at its essence. Ultimately, trace the relaxed, powerful flow of this river to the ocean. It ultimately finds a way. The ocean here is a metaphor for infinite consciousness, or Sat Chit Ananda, the infinite being touted in the yoga tradition. Let yourself dissolve in this river of life with its simultaneously penetrating yet easeful flow. Notice areas of your life where you may have had success, so to speak, or growth and development and abundance from that. Notice the strong but softness of the flow. Notice the inherent trust that this water will flow to its destination. In areas where you've developed yourself, it's a little bit easier to connect with that balanced aspect of energy and relaxation. Take note now of aspects of your life that you're working on or that you know need work. Perhaps there's an over impulse of force, or perhaps there's an under impulse. Perhaps there's too much disengagement disguised as relaxation or patience. Or perhaps there isn't enough allowing and waiting. In what areas of your life do you need this river to flow a little bit more heartily and confidently? In what areas of your life do you need to ease back the flow? Notice areas of your life where the water is stagnant. What needs a fresh cleanse and a fresh perspective? Notice areas of your life where perhaps it's a little too much. In the yoga tradition, there are two primary forces: the divine masculine and divine feminine, Purusha and Prakriti, or Shiva and Shakti. Each encompass each other like yin and yang, and there are transcendent and immanent aspects. But for now, simply notice where you can take a little more initiative in life, or in your pursuits, or just in inhabiting your body, knowing what you want. And where energy is required to be exerted in a vigorous, perhaps even valiant way. Notice areas of your life that need a little bit more patience, perhaps a little withdrawal of energy. Perhaps you're waiting for something to show up, and your efforts are counterproductive. Notice where relaxation and letting go are needed. Ultimately, these two aspects of the infinite pulsate in your body, in your psyche, just like the breath pulsate between Shiva and Shakti, or Purusha and Prakriti. As you grow your relationship with these two aspects of balanced life force, in action or not in action, you'll be able to transcend the need for both and flow like that river effortlessly through life, reaching the ultimate goal, enlightenment perhaps, naturally. Coming back to your breath, take in the energy of this river you've been observing from far above. Allow it to infuse your being. Let it guide you. Let it show you where attention is needed. And ultimately, this singular drop becomes the ocean. We'll end our practice with 5 deep breaths into our belly, noticing the space that we've created, noticing the openness, or noticing anything else that may have occurred, and simply letting that be, not reacting to it. I'll let you take your deep breaths on your own, and then we'll chant Om Shanti to close. Thank you for joining us today. If you know this chant of Om, peace, 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 which is what it translates to, please join me. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. We do these meditations every Thursday at 6:30. In mid-June, we'll be doing them every other week. Feel free to remain in the state you are, if you so choose. You're also welcome to share in the comments section just one word describing your experience, if you feel so called. Thank you again for joining. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Namaste.